We have a delivery today, guys, and nothing's going to stand in our way on this trip. We have a half quart of oak that's going out to a very good barbecue restaurant, and there's something very special that I'm going to announce when we get there. It's all part of our 20,000 subscriber celebration and 4 million views. We can't discount that. Come with me, I'll show you what we got. This is oak, all oak, and it is pretty dry. It's been sitting for a while, and this place likes it split a little bit bigger, so I'm all for that. And they're not as concerned with the moisture content, and I am all for that. And except for the fact that it's heavy, that's the only part that I am going to be dreading right now delivering this. The woodshed's kind of in a good location. It's not a lot of extra labor on my part, but it's still wood that's got to get gone. Here we go. I got to get the invoices. Now we can go. Sunglasses. Okay, now we can go. I forgot my gloves. Got my gloves. Now, let's go. Forgot my water. Okay, invoices, gloves, sunglasses, water. Let's try it now, guys. Let's go. Positive improvement. I did remember my keys. This oak we're delivering, I have said it before, this should not be a surprise. It is my least favorite firewood. I do not like oak. I just can't handle the smell. Ugh, it smells terrible. It seems though that after it sits for a while and dries and seasons, I think the smell is bearable. But for the most part, the smell is what does it for me. Yes, I don't like how heavy it is. Oak can get crumbly on you too, especially when it sits drying for a while. You got to keep the bark side down when you haul it in the truck so that it doesn't blow out onto the road. But about the weight, you know, I've never had my truck weighed before, but you can really tell the difference when you haul oak versus maple. The bumper sits a lot lower to the ground. I also notice it the times I haul green firewood. There is a big difference between the weight of a half a quart of green versus dry. So I don't have the exact numbers. I'm sure it's a knowable thing. It's just some of the things I notice. I would imagine that affects your fuel mileage, and you know, gas is kind of pricey. But what I've noticed is I have been driving slower on the highways. I'll drive about 5 miles an hour under the speed limit just to save fuel. And I've been more strategic with my deliveries. Like I have been sitting on a delivery for an extra day or two to pair it up with another delivery going in that same location. And I don't know, it just seems like, you know, the price of fuel really stinks. It does. But it also brings some benefits too. It makes you reassess, and it forces you to recommit to efficiency. And that's what I've noticed, the way, you know, fuel prices have affected me. It hasn't affected my sales. It hasn't affected my profitability. But if anything, I've become more efficient and more strategic in my deliveries. There is downtown Youngstown, guys. Great city. This is right in the middle of the Mahoning Valley. That the Mahoning River runs right down through the center of it. And this was all steel mills back in the old days. And they have all long since gone. The other thing I think I did right was I've gravitated towards smaller trucks. So this is a half-ton truck, And when fuel prices are up, I can at least say I'm getting 20 miles to the gallon. When I had first started, I had even a smaller truck, which I thought was going to be the way to go. It was a Chevy Colorado. And what I learned though, yes, it was smaller, but you know, all I could haul was a quarter quart of firewood in it. And being honest, it didn't get any better gas mileage than this F-150. And I have hauled, you know, the standard max load would probably be a half quart, but I have hauled more before, you know, where I've just piled it in. I've hauled a third and a quarter, and you know, got it done. But I think that's the versatility of this. One of the things that I feel where I avoided the wrong direction was going big. And it seems like whenever you start getting success, you want to get bigger and get bigger and get bigger equipment and bigger trucks. And I kind of went the opposite. You know, I think you need to stay small or even go smaller, especially the way that I'm doing firewood, because I try to stay away from big quantities, and I don't even deliver cords. So small trucks, I think that's the way to go, guys. And here we are exiting in Boardman. Boardman is a southern suburb of Youngstown, and this is where all the retail, the malls, and the restaurants are. And this is the kind of area I try to gravitate towards for my deliveries. And we are here. And guys, we cut this close. They are very low. They just got some crumbs left, but they did clean up the woodshed. And we'll get this loaded into the shed here. First thing I gotta do, I gotta get checked in and get my invoice signed. It's just good practices, because you keep delivering month after month after month, and occasionally things get missed. And you got to be able to prove that you delivered wood, you know, 45 days ago. So always get your invoices signed by the receiver. All right, guys, I got my invoice signed and I can start getting unloaded. But first, let me show you something. Guys, this is the patio where we're gonna have our 20,000 subscriber meet and greet. And it's going to be August 6th, Saturday at 2 p.m. right here, Mission Barbecue in Boardman, Ohio. I can't think of a better way to celebrate. Yes, we're going to have a live stream. We're going to have a huge live stream. But I thought for people that can make it out here, and I know that there are a lot of people here in the Western PA, Northeast Ohio, West Virginia area, come on out. Let's meet. If I can get at least just one of you guys or gals to show up, I'll call it a success. I'll have some stuff to give away. I'll come up with something, and we'll be able to celebrate, enjoy ourselves, and eat some nice barbecue too. If you are not familiar with Mission Barbecue, they are themed around first responders, military, police, fire, EMTs. And guys, they have just a gorgeous dining area, and they take it serious. Every day at noon, everything comes to a stop and they play the national anthem. And even, looky here, guys, they have reserved parking spots for veterans. I'm serious. This is a heck of a place to come. I really hope you guys can make it out. And if you can't, I'm sure we'll have other opportunities. But the way I see things, 20,000 subscribers don't come around every year. For firewood delivery, this is where the rubber hits the road. You know, we're dealing with heat, and we're on the morning side of the building, and it's just bearing down on me right now. But I get my truck backed up as close as I can. I try to keep the loading dock clear as fast as I can because, you know, there's other deliveries that come in before the restaurants open, and the Firewood guy is here the longest. So here you go, guys. I'm in the middle of this delivery, trying to hustle, and another delivery driver shows up and I'm in his way. But I also want to be courteous because everyone's got to make a living, you know. But I do what I can do. That's just the way it is. I've been held up at loading docks before too, where like the driver wasn't even there. Maybe he was getting his lunch or something, but you just sometimes just have to sit. I had always said the most dangerous thing I do is jump in and out of the back of my pickup truck. And that's where this unloader was the best money I had ever spent. This will pull the wood right out to the tailgate, and it also keeps all the crud off the customer's ground. And the only thing I have to do, which is still not that big of a deal, is I got to pull the wood away from the edges because it gets hung up on the wheel wells. And from there I just crank it on out. And this is where I say, you know, it does take longer to hand load the truck, but I'm telling you, you get it back when you're unloading it because you're not pulling out individual sticks to carry to the woodshed. You can pick up an entire group of them at one time. I can pick up a nice stack. They're already in position, and it makes stacking so much easier. I just plop them down and I get my next one. This is a beehive of activity here this morning. The delivery drivers are here. This guy's not even for this restaurant. He's for one down here. UPS has been here, FedEx. All of the opening employees are coming, and their morning task, you know, they're running garbage out to the dumpster, so I just feel like I'm in the way and I'm trying to get out of here. All my accounts, all my residential customers, my retail customers, and my restaurants are important to me, but I've always had this connection with mission, and I think it is because when Dad was still alive, he was in the hospital, and man, I'm telling you, for you caregivers, or if you have a loved one in the hospital, that from the parking lot to the elevator to that long walk down the hallway, man, you don't know what you're getting into sometimes. And it was always just a fear. What's behind the curtain, you know, when you walk in? Is he going to be sick as a dog or not? And the one day I walk in and pull back the curtain, and Dad's in his bed reading a newspaper. And the first thing out of his mouth was, "We're opening a new restaurant in Boardman." He says it's a barbecue restaurant. I would suspect that they need firewood. So that's how I have learned of this place. And if you are familiar with Boardman, Ohio, you know that it is like every restaurant in the world is here. That's how I found out about this place. And then from there, it was just a matter of me staying on top of it, because that was right before the pandemic. And all of the projections in the newspaper when this place was supposed to open was changed, you know, so it got pushed back, pushed back, pushed back. What I was able to do, though, was just stay on top of it. I'm out this way a lot, so I would always drive by and check their progress. And when I saw that there was an excavator and a big pile of gravel, I knew that it was going to be a while still. But as they got built, I just stayed on it, and I made an approach, I made a sales call, and here I am. I'm starting to feel the sun, guys. It's hot, man. And I think too, when you get an account like this, it's all about building relationships, because I'm expecting these guys to open more restaurants. And talk about an in, right? Especially if they like my service and they trust me and I make their life easier, I would hope that they give me the call when that day comes. I think too, you should always be on your toes. For instance, while I was unloading this wood, the manager for the restaurant next door had walked by. So I started chatting with him and found out that they do not use firewood. But talk about an opportunity if he did. And that's why, you know, you always carry your business cards, any literature that you have on what you do. It shows professionalism, and that makes things easier, I think, in getting contracts. But here you go, guys. I told you how oak can get crummy when it dries out. I'm just keeping everything off the ground. It's clean here. I am able to bring the wood right out to the edge of the tailgate where I don't have to hurt my back in reaching and bending. So we are wrapping this delivery up. Their consumption, they go about a month on a half a cord. So it's not that high volume, but it's ideal for me. It's just a nice, easy delivery. Yes, it's oak. It's a little bit harder to get it loaded up because of the weight, but it's an easy shot right to the woodshed, and it goes quick, and I'm able to head on down the road. And that is it, guys. I got all the mess up here. I just got a little bit on the ground to get swept up. I got the woodshed stocked. This is a half cord. I got everything put back. So we'll close up the doors and we'll head on down the road. And there you go, guys. I hope you enjoyed that, and thanks so much for coming along with me on the delivery. And again, if you can make it to Mission Barbecue, Boardman, Ohio, August 6th, that's a Saturday, 2 p.m. Come on out, we'll have some giveaways, we'll enjoy lunch together, and we'll get to know each other a little bit better. If you can't make it, I promise, we are going to have an enormous live stream with giveaways, and you know how we did it last time? It's going to be just like that, except bigger. And for now though, guys, I am parked off to the side. I'm out of the way of the loading dock, and I'm going to go in and get some lunch. I hope everyone has a great day.